recording?
Yeah.
All right. What happened last session, guys?
This episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Sisters.
Okay, James Charles.
Oh,
You know,
no, I was doing the 1950 sister song.
Oh, okay, my bad.
For some reason, the first note that I wrote down was "It's snowing out,"
Yeah.
and then "Disguise the elf" was my next note that I wrote.
I know why you wrote that is the thing.
Yeah, because we decided we had to. I believe we're covering up all the tattoos prior to our travel into Dementor territory.
Yeah. The Hala look like weird, fucked up deer.
Mm-hmm. Don't look too closely, please.
I know Ilaria did something with shepherd's horns as well.
Make it look like a funky hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eleanor of Aquitaine realness.
Yeah,
We
because I'm
put our
trying to.
heads together to
Yeah,
make up
so
some false identities.
we had to make all false identities.
Some of
and
us
I
were more
know-
prepared than others for the concept.
Did Erlin need anything covered up, or was Erlin just ready to rock?
Justification.
It's just a guy.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
a
I think
dude.
Erlen's
The main
just a
thing
guy.
is he's just
Okay.
a guy. You had to explain why you have the mark, but that's pretty easy to explain. He's on the surface to begin with.
Okay, so we covered up Asan, Sarid.
What's Sarah's name again? They're not on
Sarah.
the roll 20.
Sarah.
Sarah Dwayne.
Yeah.
And I guess it was just the two elves and Shep that needed to be covered up, I guess, a little bit. And that was it?
Shep
out
just
of-
kind of,
Kind of
but
just
like,
little
you know,
hairs.
in his 7-8 foot tallness, he's like, you know what? He's just a muscle with fashion sense.
Hey, Laurie has to put on her best American accent.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
Cringing internally.
Cringing internally, cringing in French.
How do you say howdy?
Yeah.
As one
Probably not
says,
a great decision.
howdy.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be a great idea to sound overtly Orlesian in the place that's at war with Orlais.
Yeah.
Like,
Orlais,
love the
I've never heard
burger.
of that.
And French fries.
Biogu in French. Anyway, as we got our act together, we managed to slip past the multiple towers, kind of lining the pathway up into the mountains where we were headed, you know. And it worked a little until there were these, you know, little birds hanging around. We're like, hey, what are they up to? And they started to flock and fly past the towers and come back. And we're like, oh fuck, they got torches. Okay, hustle. And we hustle up into the mountains. Managed to avoid getting singed by the torches that the birds were carrying. But you know, it's all good. It's all chill. We're up in the snowy areas now. And alas, there is a bridge. And you know what they say about parties and bridges? It takes 6
What do they
million
say? What do they say, Annika? Enlighten us.
it's like how,
I know, but you
um,
fill us in.
it's like a
Yeah.
door.
It's like
It's not just any bridge. It's the bridge, and it didn't look very sturdy. So
Your
a few of
bridge
us
door.
managed to hop through. And then surprise attack! Little fiery axolotls. They're not axolotls. They're like salamanders, but in my head, I remember them as axolotls.
That's real.
Yep.
That make us feel bad for
Yeah.
killing them, though.
They're not little. They were not little.
They
in
were
the
rather
slightest.
big, but compared to the dragons we have fought,
Compared to the dragons you fought, they weren't much smaller.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
fair.
big, non-winged lizards.
some of them were. I don't remember the name of the other guys that had wings that were like kind of like snakes but with wings.
They were not. They did not have wings.
Oh my
They're
god.
like- They're like centipedes the Remmer has.
Okay,
like-
that the rimmer. I wrote as tremor question mark.
Yeah.
Tremor house.
Yeah, we got jumped by large monsters, and they were
It's
pretty
okay,
they were
though.
pretty scary. They had a fire and ice theme going on. It was pretty cool.
Not the Pokemon I wanted.
Absolutely not.
But
Cool,
you
you
know, with
win.
the power of friendship, yeah,
Yeah.
and sisterhood.
And sisterhood. We did have actual giant flying spider on our side, and that was pretty helpful.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Eventually got past the bridge altogether after having slain our quarry and collected its guts. Then we went to the top of the mountain where we found a shrine and a skeleton, as well as faint music even. Who knows where that was coming from? Very, very nice bit of zen at the top of the mountain, the summit. You know? But Sarid, with some help from Asan here and there, was also able to just help finish the painting, the unfinished work of the 100 pillars that one of the ghosts in her sword had this unfinished business towards. And after a bit of the artist themselves, like a little spirit looking over everything, going, yes, of course, a few notes about this one, perhaps, yes, this is satisfactory. They were able to be at rest, which updated and upgraded the sword in some forms. It kind of shifted it a little, and it was pretty cool. We eventually reached the bottom of the mountain not long after that with the help of the sisters, of course, and their cool magic powers, such as turning into giant flying spider whip, hop in the whip, and then get to the bottom of the mountain. And we got to have a sad, kind of little tearful goodbye to Sarid's cool sisters as they go off to their own adventures, and we go into racism land.
Yay. Oh, Josh, this is Dragon Age.
Every land is
racism.
racist.
Racism
Oh
land.
god.
Racism is
I was
everywhere.
I'd say I'm like, yeah, one of all of the racism lands.
Yeah.
God, this is Elder Scrolls all over again. Racism makes the world go round.
Yay.
Skyrim is for the Nords.
That's
We
the
will-
Adventure slogan.
we will pick up at the end of the conversation between the sisters in the group, in which they said their farewells and have started going in their own direction. You guys are heading towards Morothius, I assume.
They don't know what city they're going to, dude.
I think
Yeah,
that's
where
the
are we going?
closest one.
That is.
We see a town in the distance. Maybe that one.
There is. Brandy is going to look at Indra. Where are we going?
Sick. Yeah, I love to speak right now. Indra takes out a map that he drew. Very bare bones, and just goes, Morothius seems to be the closest one. Although, and he kind of looks over into the distance. And what you see in this very bleak landscape, what used to be a farming community, now full of just dead patches of land and grass, abandoned buildings. Further out past it, a small city that has now been transformed into some sort of military fort. Walls of steel line the southernmost border, with a large gate and guards stationed everywhere. Watchtowers of asymmetrical design. If you want a real world architectural reference, it's very reminiscent of Byzantine architecture. Primarily of very dark stone.
Okay. We should probably go over there, maybe. We got our story straight, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just a servant.
What about
And
you,
I'm
Roland?
Sarah.
Sarah the Sir.
Sarah Edwin, Asan's sister and servant and assistant.
Ias's sister.
Yes.
I'm I'm a blacksmith. My name is Andy.
That's gonna go great.
We're a band of merchants, not necessarily the same items. Andy does blacksmithing. I, Aria, do cloths and fine silks. We have Mr. Varen over there. You could see what he does. Points at alchemy set.
Yeah, okay. I think we got our story straight.
I guard the cart.
Mm-hmm. Do we have a cart? I thought we left that
You
behind.
guys do not have a cart.
No,
I guard the
we
people.
only have a weird deer that we keep around for.
I guard the
There's
weird
junk
deer.
on the deer.
It
They're like valuable.
just keeps changing.
Oh yeah, Indra
Yep.
summons his war horse, and he'll
A
just
totally
like,
normal one.
put some, just like put some, I don't know, belongings on it, and we'll say it's like a pack
Cover
mule.
its face.
Gonna put some blinders on it. Cover it with a cloth.
You know
like
what,
those
guys?
little
I don't
horse
think
spouts.
Deventer's gonna have an issue with Curiosity looking like a Fade Demon, funnily enough.
Sorry, I don't vacation here.
Yeah, I think they'll think curiosities are pleasant looking.
All right. So, after you guys get your story straight, you start heading towards this city. As you get there, you effectively approach not a long line, but it is still a line of people, and you can hear guards at the gate asking them series of questions such as who are you, what is your business, what belongings are you claiming, you're subjected to random search, things like that.
If anyone reaches into a bag of holding without specifically looking for something, they don't get anything from it, right? It's just an empty bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And eventually all of you approach. Alt. Names and business.
She's gonna speak up in her borrowed Tiventer voice. Just passing through for the day. Just we have our wares. Trying to get bunkered down before nightfall.
Name's Varen Aldens, purveyor of fine alchemical ingredients and potions. Pleasure to meet you.
And the guard, who's just writing on a tablet, just like looks over at the two elves. Servants?
Yes, sir.
I just keep my head
Most
bowed.
certainly.
Alright. Mercantile wares. Two servants?
They were a buy one get one.
No, I am asking you, are you claiming two servants?
Oh, yes.
Alright.
The bigger ones are hired help. Not getting much muscle from the thin ones.
Yeah, I got that, I get that. It's hard to really get good muscle from some of the stock.
Useful to have both, though.
Alright.
Sorry, hold on. I would like either Ilaria or Erlin to make a deception check.
I'd like to help her a deception
There
check.
you go.
Cool. Okay. Math rocks. Nat 20.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, he's just going through all the questions. You're just nodding along. It definitely helps that you sound more from here.
Native.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound a bit more
local.
native. Oh, you would have had advantage anyway because you have actor, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's only,
it's
Woo.
it's
fine.
only like
Yeah.
impersonating that specific person. If you're just borrowing the accent, I don't think that would. Because like you're not like being like a researcher.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just nobody. I think nobody knows her voice. Fingers crossed we don't come across family.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, also, it's not like every single person's gonna sound perfectly unique. You know, some people might, you
No,
know,
no, no, no,
have
no.
a
What
dialect.
I'm saying is like actor wouldn't work here because she's not impersonating that person. She's just using the accent.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know the exact
still
wording of
it's
it.
still a part of the
Something
feat.
like
It's
that.
just a different aspect of it.
Yeah.
So while he's just writing some information down, he's gonna just look up. All right, you are subjected to a random search. Bags out, please. Come on, we got people behind you.
The other guard standing, he's just going to kind of like talk to Ilaria a little bit and just kind of like nod along, like, oh, okay, merchants. Do you guys have paperwork? If not, you can go to the town hall. It'll make travel a lot easier. You wouldn't have to be like searched every single time you enter a town. You could even visit the dwarven embassies, do trade there. It's purely like a formality, like a little badge essentially. Would be very, very helpful for y'all.
Wise
to know.
idea, good sir. Am I part of that, or just like, or just
Yeah. If you want to like stand next to her, yeah. He'll just kind of like point to like a large like town hall building. Yeah, you just have to like pay a fee, answer some questions, and then you'll get your paperwork.
happily, and he'll offer up his, you know, like if they want to search through his bag, it's full of a bunch of fucking like creature items and like materials.
However, you specifically claim to be an alchemist, so that's just normal. That would be
Weird shit.
Yeah, you would just have weird shit on you.
Yep.
Her bag is a girl bag.
I don't know what that
Trinkets.
means.
It's trinkets. There's
Oh,
a bunch of
How
shit
is that
everywhere.
a girl bag? That's a goblin bag.
No, it's a goblin girl bag. So she has her compact mirror, but also like random ribbons, but also like flask. Oh, that's like my beauty treatment stuff.
yeah, you gotta.
It's oil.
True.
You
You do
got a
have
nat-
you do have the one thing for your hair in particular.
you
Yep,
got a
yep.
natural
Cover up
20.
concoction.
You got a natural 20 on your deception. It's like they're gonna look at it. They're gonna be a little weirded out, but like they've seen weirder.
They've seen worse.
They've seen weirder.
seen
They've
worse.
seen worse.
You see like in the other line, one of the guards just going through it, like, is this a severed finger? And one of the people is just like, yeah, I'm a necromancer, you know. They just kind of like end up there. And the guard's
TSA.
like, you can't bring severed fingers into the, and they just like throw it out. Necromancer is like,
No
looks
body
really
parts
good.
unless you're a certified funeral director.
Yeah, please go to the town hall and get certified in necromancy.
There's a whole box of body parts.
I'm going to be placing these remains in the remains bin. Please move along.
Take your jacket
Do you have anybody
off.
on the outside that can hold this for you before you return?
Nah, man, I'm sorry. Just like, all right, I guess it's getting thrown out. Sorry about that.
And to venture on your ID, you have to specify whether or not you're a body donor in case of your death.
Oh God.
Not even just organs; they will just turn you into a zombie.
No,
No,
you get
that's-
tax breaks for being a body donor.
No,
Yeah.
that's Navarra. Navarra is the necromancy.
The
country.
weird, yeah.
Tevinter's
Uh,
blood magic.
So, you guys get searched, and they don't find anything strange. Well, they find strange stuff, but nothing like, oh, you need a new deception check, or you need to make a new lie. No, they're like, okay. You're all clear
Like
to
the
go.
bodyguard has weapons, whatever. Moving on.
Yeah, the bodyguard has weapons. The blacksmith has blacksmith tools. Like, everything is clear. You can go. And you guys are ushered forth. And despite them like making a little bit of small talk as they're very trying to be as efficient as possible with their work, as soon as you start moving, they like usher you along. Like, come on, go.
Ooh, ooh.
And you are met with the city of Moronius. And as like you get through, you notice that it is fucking packed with people,
Ooh.
almost to a suffocating degree.
You notice that it shouldn't be this way. It's the fact that this used to be a small city full of like farmers, and then you notice a winery with like vineyards, like craftsmen, merchants, traders, and then the military personnel moved in, and it seems like people weren't able to move away, so it is just like it like is a small city. It has the capacity or like the population of like Dyer's Mood. Like you have to like actively like maneuver yourself through the streets. You almost get like run over by a cart with like animals a few times. Worse than downtown Jersey City. It's like if like
Oh,
New
no.
York. It's like if New York was packed into downtown.
Oh
Oh.
man, the
Oh,
meatpacking district
There-
is the
there
meatpacking
are-
district.
There are a lot of people, and you notice the mood is tense, but people are kind of just moving past it in their daily lives, though they don't seem comfortable with guards and military on every corner. You see a guard barracks located in the southern part of town where you're currently in, and a prison to like the left side of you. This like large black building, no windows, only a single door, and caravans of people clad in armor being kind of like moved inside. There's all kinds of different stores that you could go to. The kind of like winery and vineyard at the northern part of town, and then a large kind of like town hall building where you were told to look for the papers.
what would all of you like to do?
Let's get certified.
Would be good to further sell our story here.
I have a quick thing I want to do with while we're walking, just like not a detour or anything. One, how many other quote unquote servants are there? Two, I'm trying to get a vibe for how they act so I can act the part accordingly.
Give me a perception and insight check.
Perception.
11? Not a lot. This is like a small city, and like the most wealthy person is gonna be like the owner of the vineyard. And you do see like elves and humans working the vineyard, like collecting grapes for wine. But other than that, it's mostly just like traders, like merchants, military personnel, a few beggars in the streets. Not a lot of like slaves around. And insight for how they're acting.
Insight. 16.
16.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Trying to keep their head down and just getting through the day.
Alright. I'll try to just act the part then. You know, just keep my head down, stay quiet, don't make too much eye contact, things like that. I will sell our story.
You if no one else wants to do anything else, you guys head to the town hall, and it is waves of people at a time. It's a constant stream back and forth. Like you can it's one of those cases where like one side of the staircase is people coming out, one side is coming in. And as you like funnel in, you are met with rows upon rows of clerks. And they're all going through different groups of people. They're all speaking in different bureaucratic jargon, and it is a mess. Eventually, as you go through the line, you get to the front and you hear a clerk very clearly and kind of pissed off. You're not quite sure. It's not a happy tone. Next group, please. Next group, please.
Hustle up.
All right,
Puts
what can I
heavy
help?
coin purse in her accent. Hi. Okay. Nice guard up front said we could apply
What do you
for
want?
traveling
What do you
merchant
want?
papers.
Okay.
Traveling merchant papers.
All right. What are you a merchant of?
We are a group. I'm doing textiles.
What are you a merchant of, miss?
Me. I'm textiles.
We have one textile. You, dwarf.
Alchemy.
Alchemy. You. Blacksmithing. All right. Two servants, as they just don't even ask questions about the two elves in the group. Servant or retainer?
Of the elves or of shepherd?
I'm looking at that one. Yes, the tall one. God damn. Retainer. And you?
Also.
As they're looking at Indra.
Also retainer.
Hired guard. And would it be possible to use, I have like a background feat of, military rank.
Mm-hmm.
I know like I can't show anything like specific, but could I like, I don't know, make some sort of check to make it clear that like, I don't know, like I'm an official like military member?
That vibe of militarism.
Yeah.
I
you've seen them.
Honestly, I will allow a persuasion with advantage or intimidation.
Okay.
Like you can do either. You're gonna get different results with them.
They're both the same.
Okay.
What do we want? Persuasion or intimidation?
What would Indra do? I think intimidation would be funny.
How intimidating is your rank?
Well, he got kicked out.
Well, they don't know that.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay, persuasion.
21.
They look up, and I'm assuming Indra's like carrying themselves in a much more like.
It's like, you know when you go to like a protest and there's a very visible cop there? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Like they're not necessarily in uniform, but you can get that vibe.
They're doing a very bad job of blending in, yeah.
Yeah, like they're
I'm
gonna
not a
look
cop,
up,
what do you
look at
mean?
you.
Indra has his hands on his like bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Oh god, I hate that.
stance.
Yeah, he's got a baseball cap to like hide a wire. He's got like very obvious like running shoes.
Looks like he was born with the stick up his ass.
Yeah.
A man can't be wearing orthopedic care.
The clerk like looks up at Andra, nods a little bit. I was like, all right. All right, you all are looking for mercantile paperwork.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a cart that you would like to claim?
Wait,
Not
what?
yet.
We'll get
No.
one.
Some
All
point.
right. and they get up from their desk. If you would please follow me, we need to ask you a bunch more questions. We need to go over a bunch of other things, where you're from, and all of that.
Is he like walking through a hallway?
He is getting up from his desk and is starting to walk away from the group
Erlen follows.
in a very, like, you're expected to follow.
Okay,
Yeah.
hush, 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 rush.
I follow with my head down, as always.
Me too.
This is
as
super normal.
as they're walking, Aria would like to kind of, in an offhanded comment to the group, man, you know what I miss? The sourdough from Starkhaven. I emoji, I side eye. We are from there.
Shepard, as you are being ushered along with your passive perception, you hear one of the clerks just very, like, offhandedly whisper to, like, someone next to them, wow, he's almost as tall as one of the guards around here. Where the fuck do they make those?
I don't know. Might be some new, like, magical thing from the academies.
Oh, wow, yeah, I heard they've been experimenting a lot. And that's all you get as you follow the group.
Erlen is hearing like Arya talk, and he's just like, less is more, Arya. Less is more.
And as you follow into what is a different office, and you are barraged with question after question, and it's tense, but it's not like, oh, you're gonna, like, get found out kind of tense. It's that tense of, if you answer something wrong, this is going on official paperwork.
So I would
Welcome to the DMV.
Yeah, I would like a group deception check. The DC you're trying to beat is 100.
I'm
Shit.
5'2",
What's
no,
my social
5'3".
security number?
What's a social security number?
What's social
Does that
security?
include the elves?
They don't have social security.
I'd say you can either roll deception or give somebody advantage.
I was gonna ask a question.
Okay.
Could I do
Oh.
performance? As I looked at what the other
It is a form of
servants were
acting.
doing, and I'm like just trying to like act in the same way.
I'll allow it.
Yay!
Once.
Thank you, DMs.
You want them to notice just how unnoticeable you are, and how.
Yes, I want them to notice how good of a servant I am by not being noticeable.
That servant, very servant-like. Anyway,
How
Very.
servantly.
You hardly
Servantly.
realize that there was two in the room.
Can I have
Yeah, like-
advantage
like-
because I used my feet?
Yes,
Yo.
yes, you can.
What did
I'm
you
just
use
sitting
your
here like,
feet
what the fuck
for
are you
as
talking
well?
about? Like, oh, that's what you meant. 20.
I use my feet.
16.
What?
for what? God.
Hey, we gotta make money here somehow.
Give me 2 seconds while I do math. 19, 16, 20. Yeah, you got it.
Wow, 111. Oh,
What?
wait. Plus Erlin's.
Yeah, plus Erlin's, which would be
133.
133. But yeah, you guys go through hours of this shit, and let me go check how long we wrote down for. But off the top of my head, I think it's 5 hours.
Oh
I don't
god.
think it's 5 hours.
Saragwin just looks around like this.
Right, yeah, the
Oh,
place
yeah,
is
it is
busy.
5 hours.
So, like,
Okay, but
Yeah,
they rolled
you-
really well, so I'd say, like, it lowers it.
Yeah, I would say 3 hours.
Yeah, you're in there for
Bureaucracy.
3 hours. There's also a cost associated.
Yeah, as soon as they are done helping you fill out all of the paperwork and getting all of the official signatures down and everything. All right. So for the cost of all of these papers, and you said you were getting a cart registered?
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
at another time.
At a Well, the total will be 250 gold.
Pleasure doing business. Or
Oh, yeah.
soon to be, at least. As he hands over money from our beautiful bag of party funds.
All right. And as soon as you hand over the gold, stamp, 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 stamp on all of the paperwork.
And you have a
And
beautiful crest of official trade with the Dwarven Embassy.
all right. Now that you have all your paperwork filled out, is there anything else I can help you with, or are you leaving?
Was there anything else that the guards at front mentioned that we would want to get here outside of the mercantile paperwork?
Pretty much.
They just said the paperwork. If you guys want to get a cart
Yeah.
and like stock up on supplies, there's like obviously a lot of like shops to do that here. If you want to get information, let us know. But otherwise, like you're kind of done here.
All right,
I
fair
thought you would
enough.
get information from.
Not from the bureaucrats.
I
No.
mean, like if you guys want to like gather information yourselves, let us know what you're doing and what you're looking for.
And it will also depend on who you're trying to get that information from as
Yeah.
well.
I am curious. So, I want to try to say, read the kind of person that is interviewing me in particular, right, as the only dwarf of this group. And as we talk, right, as they like do the whole like interview process of like, oh, why are you doing business and such and such and such, and I give them my made up story of Varen Aldens, right? I'd like to try to read from them if I can garner whether dwarves are a common occurrence around here, or if they are familiar with any of them that may also be doing business or may not be doing business around these parts. As you just have this cordial conversation.
I would like you to give me an insight check.
I am being insightful.
After that, I would also like you to give me a history check.
I am being historical.
I would like you to have advantage on this history check as well.
Yeah. History. I'm so smart.
Is there a barking?
What?
I'm listening to the watch together.
Oh.
Yeah, there's dogs
I have
outside.
We hear
Nah,
a
there's just
barking.
dogs outside.
Fine, I'll
you-
fucking switch. God.
You are
Shepard came in wearing sandals.
you are looking, or like you're looking at this guy. You're getting all of the body language from him. Just
And even just having a cordial talk, like
yeah, just like
get a lot of say competition around these parts.
are
This
you
is a very
referring-
different Erland.
Yeah. And he like pauses writing stuff down that you told him, looks up, looks back at the paperwork and keeps writing. When you refer to competition, do you mean merchants as a whole or your brethren?
Brethren, I like to give a friendly face, though. I'm not sure if many people are used to such a face, especially topside.
As he's just writing stuff down, in Merotheus, we have a couple of dwarven traders, a couple of not necessarily well-known ones, but ones that like to pass through here. When you get to Narrominion, you'll obviously encounter the embassy.
With that insight and history check, the fact that there is an embassy already makes it already makes dwarves
pretty
more
good.
common than like all of Ravane combined.
Yeah.
Like they are not only welcome, but they're like seen as profitable
Bros.
like resources.
Yeah.
Very good to know.
And you would know why you would know that the dwarves specifically have a role in the trade of bodies into Winter.
Absolutely.
All right. Varen, here's your. Thank you very much for your interview, and I will have the next person come up. And time skip, you get your paperwork. Unless anybody else wants to get information from this clerk or someone else within the town hall, you leave, and now you have the rest of Morotheus to explore.
What time is it?
It's getting to like evening.
Yeah. I would say it's like early-ish
Yeah.
evening.
Guess finding keep for the night. Want to stay here?
We should find an inn. Someplace.
You all make your way through the city. As it gets later and later, fewer people are out and about. It's a little bit easier to traverse. You find what seems to have been kind of like converted into like a restaurant with like rooms up top, like you inquire about, as this has transformed more and more into a place people pass through and less of just like its own kind of like contained city. Rooms are 5 gold per person per night.
Ouch. Okay.
All's well and good there. Can have a meal.
Yeah, meals are included. Dinner and breakfast.
Yeah.
And you notice, kind of like in the kind of like front area, a lot of what seems to be like homeless people are sleeping under like over hanging roofs, under windowsills, or kind of like standing outside the doors, begging for money.
Yeah. As you enter, it is not necessarily packed, but there is a good amount of people, most of which are just guards drinking after a long shift. You approach the innkeeper. They look up and they give you the that estimate of 5 golds per person. So other than that, I do have the question of
We don't let the slaves pay for themselves. That's for sure. I'm paying with Hassan's money. For him.
Oh,
For
wow.
him. For him.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
taking the 5 gold out of your pockets and
Okay,
into my
hold on,
pockets so I
hold
can
on.
give it to them.
The thing is, the service don't count as a person.
They don't count as a
We don't
person.
get
Let's
rooms.
go!
Wow.
Servants don't count as people. We just saved 5 gold.
Oh,
We saved
Actually,
10
saved
gold.
10 gold.
10 gold. Oh my god, this it's
I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Just
Oh
hearing
my god.
Josh
Hassan
say,
is going to murder you now.
hearing,
Let's go. Servants don't
hearing
get rooms.
Josh say, "Let's fucking go." After don't count as people, let's go.
count.
I'm so glad we don't stream this shit.
Well, we do.
It's been uploaded.
We'll split rooms as usual.
Great. So then only I need to pay. Arya needs to pay.
Indra, Brandy,
Atlock
Shepard.
pays. Yeah.
That's like what?
Andy. We're saving 10 gold out of a group of 7. It's beautiful. Who has the supervisor? Who has the supervisor slaves?
Do I have
Yeah.
to?
Who do I
Wait,
belong
I
to?
got a question. Not out loud. Do they say like you can put your servants in like the side room or something?
Oh man,
They
I
have
thought
Where
we
are
were
we
just gonna
supposed
share
to go?
rooms.
Do they have to
No,
stay with
they're
us?
expected to like go with you.
Okay.
Okay. I know if they had like a
They
separate
don't
servants'
have like
quarters
enough
of like a
space
broom
for a
closet.
side room for servants.
True. Also, you probably
Oh no,
don't
I
want
was expecting like a
servants in
broom
one
closet
space
of just like,
alone
yep,
together.
this is where you are.
My
You probably
guy.
don't all want all the servants to be together in one room to
The
get
broom
any funny
closet
ideas.
has brooms in it.
As brooms.
The
So
snozberries taste like snozberries.
I don't even know why that's relevant.
Um, I was
So
gonna,
we
I was
have a
gonna say,
couple different rooms we can kind of coalesce into one,
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
I was
like,
just
I was just gonna say like if you guys want to role play like anything in the night, or like anything you want to do before you head off to bed, let us know. Otherwise, we can just like cut directly to morning.
Oh, the second that like the doors closed, Asada's like, oh, fuck my life. This is going to be annoying.
Yeah.
That's the most quiet I've heard you.
Well, we can't really
Shut up,
talk
Erland.
about anything.
Oh god, all the bowing and scraping and the yes sir, no sir. I'm going to fucking kill someone.
I only put this thing on so they don't see that I have like shaved sides or whatever. I look so normal.
Well, as normal as
Your
you usually do.
estimation.
Yeah.
Sarah, it's normal.
No.
By
No,
our estimation.
Like if I don't put my cloak over my outfit, they'll be like, ah, that's a witch.
Sarah,
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's
mages are popular here. It's a mageocracy.
It's just not the elves that are.
Yeah, so you're kind of shit out of luck, but
Yeah. So, we've made it. What next?
well, we need to figure out one, where Shepard's people are being held, and two, anything that anybody knows about your previous doctor.
And I'm trying to think here too, because right now we're in Merotheus, right? I'm asking that out of character. Right
Yes.
now we're in Merotheus.
Yes, it's
Yes.
circled on the map.
Okay, because I'm like, where in?
And they're Merotheus.
the big blue circle.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, because I'm just thinking about like geography and shit.
The kind of like three closest cities would be Ventus, Carastus, and Neriminian. If you wanna like just say, okay, I'm gonna go out and try to like get any information about like anything regarding to like Dr. Lucan or like any weird experiments or anything, you can do that like before you go to bed or like early in the morning or something and just like give an investigation check. Investigation
Night
or
itself.
like if you can argue for like a persuasion or intimidation, that's fine.
Because I'm sitting here like, where exactly was it? Like, Hasmal is in somewhere.
What?
Hasmal, like the
Ah.
city, like that's somewhere. This place is huge. This map is huge. Fuck.
There's something I'm gonna do after we're done.
Oh right,
talking.
it's
Okay.
way down to the south. So right by the free marches. There we go. Okay, yeah, I know where I am more or less. Cool.
Well,
Okay. So, I think Hassan's gonna try to do something tonight.
Okay.
Are you gonna need an escort?
Hopefully not. I'm going to ask if I can just put some random shit in a bag and then like sling it over my shoulder so that it looks like, oh, like I'm carrying something on like a mission, and I'm gonna like look very dejected and downtrodden so that the
Right.
guards are just like, oh, that's just a servant doing work.
You have an errand to run.
Yeah. No, like I want to look like I'm working.
Okay.
And I just want to do a quick like walkthrough of the town and see if there's a place that other servants tend to like, I guess, hang out after hours, if that's a thing, or even if that's a thing at all.
Do we have any real signifiers though that these quote unquote servants are ours? Like I want to kind of like also understand like also like as Indra almost knows a bit more about this than most of us. It's like how normal is it that the help is allowed to just kind of go off on their own, even if it's like an errand they got to run for their owners?
I guess it depends on the area and the owner, but
Does he need a chaperone for everything he does?
I don't think so, especially if he's careful about it.
Because it looks like this place is a bit overcrowded right now.
But also, I mean, if you don't have any way of, like, maybe we should give you, like, I don't know, like a paper or something to prove that, like,
That you're ours.
You're with us, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, I just GTFO?
That feels like an even worse idea, considering then they're gonna
Probably.
be, hunting
Yeah,
down
no,
a
if there's any
runaway
like
slave.
paperwork of just like either ownership or just like saying like I'm doing something for you. I don't know.
Hall pass.
Like a hall pass, yeah. Or just like, oh,
You just
he's
carry a
like
giant
carrying some
pencil
product.
with you.
Oh god.
God, no. No, I just want to get a layout and see what the other servants do after hours. Or if they do anything.
Asan, not even a role required. They just go back to, and again, pretty much like no like lay person owns slaves. Like no merchant or like guild artisan or anything. It is primarily just like the
rich, the 1%.
Yes, and this town does not really have those. It's just like one manor, the winery, and the vineyard. And from what you've seen, maybe had like 10 servants or slaves, and they would probably just stay on that property the entire time.
Okay.
At least
I still want to get a
in
layout of the city then.
Layout of the city. Give me a perception or investigation, I'd say. Yeah.
Actually, wait, no. If I don't get the idea that people are like servants hang out anywhere after hours, then I think I'll just send Siren out to do a quick scout instead.
Then perception check, please.
Erland's also gonna bring up, if you're ever caught in an awkward situation where someone asks who you belong
Nice job,
to,
Siren.
pass
Great,
along
bud.
the earring. We can kind of communicate that way.
Um,
Kind of vouch for your sake.
It's not like the previous towns or fields or even forests that you've traveled through. This is very packed. There's every time Siren flies over a single street, he can look up and down, but really not much else towards the other streets. And it's kind of difficult for your bird to kind of see past like these very narrow lanes. Like you can get to an intersection.
It's also very disorienting.
Yeah, I would probably say it's not laid out in the grid pattern.
Yeah. The info that we
It's
gave
one of
you.
those cities that wasn't planned to be a city. It's just like a
I
lot
mean,
of people live here.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it used to be just like a farming winery, like small city of like merchants, and then the military moved in. So now it's just like guard barracks, prisons, like weird space for the military personnel, a bunch of guards like running around, and then like all the people that lived here just kind of like got pushed into like various like small buildings or just out on the street, and then the entire city is encompassed in like very tall iron walls. So like the info that we gave you at the beginning, there's a manor and a winery, there's a bunch of shops, there's a prison, and there's the town hall. That's kind of all Siren sees.
Okay, fair enough.
You did some scouting with Siren. Does anybody else want to do anything?
I think Erland does want to try to get a lay of the land, go out into the nightlife of everything, right? And because these merchant stalls don't stay open all the time, right? They close after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around like
Close
8
after
p.m.
some
they
time.
close down.
Okay. Because I'm also wondering. Erland wants to get an idea of these merchants, right? Like at least like before it's like closing time, before people start like funneling off to like go for drinks or whatever else they do at the end of their day, right? He wants to get an idea of the merchants, what they're selling, and he'll pass by a couple stalls, ask about a couple of their things. What Erland is specifically keeping an eye out for is any merchant who appears to be there mostly as a front. A merchant whose quote-unquote business is something obvious and above board, like, hey, maybe they make really good doorknobs, right? But also, similarly speaking, they sell something so specific or like kind of rudimentary that not a lot of people would go to them to begin with. I'm specifically looking for a kind of merchant who is more of an information broker on the side, from what I'm able to suss out.
And are you looking for dwarves only, or just any kind of merchant?
Any that I can find that fit that kind of description. That's like, here's something like odd and specific that we're selling, but it's more so as a formality because they have a bit of a side gig going on.
Okay. Give an investigation check or insight if you want Erland to be personable.
He will be personable. Let's stay insightful.
He can.
He can if he's pretending to be someone else.
He's masking.
He's masking. Also,
Mask
I
is
mean, some of it comes from being in criminal guilds. This is kind of the gig, what it's like. May I use my once per session reroll?
You may.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say fuck it. Let's do this. 18.
Okay, that's significantly better. Do you mind if I take over with this one, Alec?
Yeah, sure.
You find like one merchant who's like big bright smile, big bright personality, does not fucking fit in. And kind of like drives a couple of people away with this kind of attitude. And as soon as you approach, he looks at you. Hello, friend. How are you?
Doing mighty fine. Just first night here, kind of getting a layout of the kind of business environment I'd be working in.
Oh, you're a merchant, are you? Craftsman or just wholesale?
More so in the crafts. I like a bit of alchemy, so I take a little bit from here and there. I like to have a pulse on things.
Oh, that is wonderful. I mostly buy and resell jewelry.
Beautiful, beautiful. Might I take a look at some of your wares?
Oh, you may absolutely look. Go ahead. And with that insight, you know, like that big bright smile, like from everybody you've like passed and seen into Vinter, that's not real.
It's not real.
That's not a real fucking smile.
It's not a real dude.
It's made to drive away people who don't know better.
Mm. Like, don't know better as in, like how exactly?
Don't know better as in what you're looking for, essentially.
Okay. So he'll go about looking at a couple things, and I don't know how well Erlin's eye is about this, but someone who buys and resells jewelry, my initial assumption and Erlin's initial assumption is that a solid chunk of this is more fake, or kind of glossed or gussied up to look a bit more real than it is.
I'm not gonna make you make a check for that one. It's just
Glass.
it's like, yeah, it's mostly glass. Like, you see some like painted like steel to be like more gold looking. Like, it's like a majority of this is scam stuff.
And Erlin will kind of play along for a bit. Interesting. Quite pretty. I think I know someone who would enjoy a little bracelet like that. Now, is this all your wares by any chance? And part of Erlin wants to kind of like suss out from like talking to this guy, kind of like that idea of like trying to see if someone's an undercover cop, right? He wants to know whether this person would understand thieves can't, and whether it would be a wise idea to bring it up in a situation like this.
I want to say make another insight check.
I mean, I'd say, like, Thieves' Cant is just, like, normal conversation with, like, very specific codes woven into it. So you can give, like, a very basic basic sentence that, like, you could theoretically not, like, mean anything by it. But if the other person, like, responds in a certain way, like, you kind of know that they're in on it. Ricky, if you still want to ask for, like, an insight check, then...
I'm only gonna. I am still gonna ask for it, but it's not gonna be a high DC.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try my insight. I'll try to do my whole thing where it's like I'm asking whether or not they quote unquote have anything more in the back, right? But it's more what I'm really trying to say is, do you conduct under under the board business is more or less the code that's being shared here. Insightful. We stay at 10.
We stay at 10. It was just enough.
Okay.
I assume, like, you give normal conversation. What is the underlying code that you're putting in it?
The underlying code is exactly that. Do you conduct any, under the board business?
Okay.
That would not be here at this like physical stand. You do anything else?
Oh my, yes. I see. And you see, like, the visage drop for a second. Now, what's your name, good sir?
Varen.
I see. We can speak more about this. Now, what is it that you're looking in stock?
Local rumor.
Local rumor. You see, you're in a bit of luck. Some contacts recently filtered through. I would have to speak with them in the morning, and obviously I need my, I have rent to pay and everything, so it might take me quite some time to get them.
I would be sure to reward you for your time.
See, business is usually conducted with upfront costs.
Erland will like collect his thoughts for a second as Josh also collects his thoughts. So specify things. So yeah, 2, I think is, yeah. So Erlen says, I have 2 particular queries, and I'd like to pay a pretty sum to any cleverly connected fellow that can get me to a few answers about these queries. So he's going to set, say, looking at my numbers as well. Yeah. Let's not be stingy. Let's be clever about this. So I'm gonna say 2 little like satchels he'll put together, right? Of each being say 150 gold, right? So 300 total for two questions, right? And then he'll list 2 specific things he'd like to try to get more information on. 1, he brings up, now in the Imperium, I imagine there are a lot of movers and shakers, some more famous types, a lot of them that take a bit of the spotlight, maybe some, say, figures of importance. I'm more interested on those that don't take the spotlight. I like to keep a pulse on the newest goings in magic.
Now,
Fascinating subject.
Now, I don't mean to break your burst your bubble, I believe the phrase is. You say this, but you are not being specific. I need
Trying to find my words.
an area.
Trying to find my words. So, okay, is there any tell? Okay, so I think the specific wording he wants to go for is he'd like to know about
How about you, Josh, tell us what you want to know,
Yeah.
and then we can say that we're doing
Yeah,
cheapskate
like
today.
like it's very weird on the wording, and he wants like an area. So I'm gonna say anything. Well, how narrow of an area does that have to be? Because I'd like to say between the range of the free marches to here, you know, in this like little range. He'd like to ask specifically if there are any lesser known researchers that are making new breakthroughs, right? Or creating new like research in the fields of like magic and experimentation and anything like that. And then also secondly, the second query that he has to bring up is that he's wondering if anywhere there's any kind of news in and around the embassy, right, traveling, of influxes of dwarven, say, caravans of people moving in and out of the area. And he kind of like shields us with the idea that like, yeah, I hear a bit more travel would be happening nowadays. Might have a couple cousins that'd be interested in a visit topside.
I see.
Like to know what it's like.
See.
And of course, if all of this just buys me a passing notion, I'd be happy to renegotiate further terms on payment then. But for now, we can start with a slat bid. He presents 2 pouches.
Well, I believe I can answer one of those questions myself, as he very delicately takes one of the coin purses from your hands. Rumor is going around at the embassy that some counselors, some medium to big players are owing favors. Owing favors to nameless individuals. And I believe that will be sufficient for what you had paid me, and for what is actually available on the market. As for travel, bodies seem to be flowing more and more, both in trade and in travel. Especially in a war like this, there's so much more room when soldiers are being sent out in droves. Now, my good friend Varen, the other question I cannot answer. However, he still takes the coin purse from your hand. I do know another person that can answer your question. Now, I open tomorrow at, let's see, first light, around the 9-ish area. There you can speak with my supplier. Would you like anything else from my fine selection?
That'll do just fine for now. Pleasure.
Of course. Have a wonderful night, good sir. And take care, Varen.
I always like to mind where I'm stepping in. Yeah. Carefully makes his way back, taking a long and convoluted way.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything before their long rest?
I'm good for tonight.
You're good for tonight.
Me too.
Josh, I'm assuming you're just good.
I'm decently good for now because at least from what I gathered from what they were saying, they were mainly answering the question I had about the trade, the trade and influx of people coming in, right? Say dwarves or other beings, but that idea, right? The only thing they couldn't quite answer for me is about researchers and breakthroughs and things like that going on the low end, but they know someone about it, right? And I will presumably be able to meet up with their quote unquote employer, right? In the morning.
Yeah, their quote unquote supplier.
Their supplier, yeah. So this is good. This is good. He'll of course he'll meet up with the with the group and kind of like share at least a bit that he's found at least one person who has some information for them.
Okay. We will get to that shortly. Alaria, I heard you speak up.
So back at the inn, I'm guessing there's a lot of traveling folks. Just out of precaution, she's gonna pretend to go out for a bit of tea because, oh god, keeping up an accent is hard. But also kind of get a feel for who is in the surrounding rooms.
In the surrounding what?
The surrounding rooms of, I'm assuming they have like 2 rooms, so that's just from habit.
Sure. Go ahead and make investigation or perception.
Okay.
Math. 22.
22.
17 plus a 5. That is, yeah.
Rooms wise, it's a lot of guards who are too drunk to walk home. You get a couple of other traveling merchants. And you can kind of like vaguely hear their conversations through the doors. You get like a couple of husband-wife duos who are like kind of on the struggling end. You get a bunch of like, at one point you hear a traveling band.
Huh? Imagine
And
Dragons in my.
Well, they don't have to imagine dragons, so it's like a different.
Seeing dragons? Question mark? I don't fucking know. Yeah, but it's mostly just a bunch of guards who kind of just stumble up the stairs and have to take a pass at the lock with the key, maybe about 10 times before actually opening it.
Lol. Okay.
But there's nothing there's nothing overtly interesting aside from like the mundane.
Okay. I just don't. I've gone behind enemy lines. These rooms are not soundproof. Okay, good to know. As she returns to the rooms.
If that's everything people want to do, let's take a short break here.
I was actually about to say that.
All right. If nobody else had anything they wanted to do, you all wake up in Morothius. Your first day in Tevinter, kind of going by in a flash almost, as you were ushered from one place to another. What is everybody doing?
Well, what is the weather?
Tropical, warm, but in an uncomfortable way.
Warm. Huh.
Yeah, on
'Cause we
Thedas, the further north you are, the warmer the weather.
Because before when we were like on the mountain, we didn't really have much in the ways of like cold weather, like clothing.
We've been in pretty tropical places so far.
Yeah. Should we be expecting to get into colder places though? Not really, right? Not to winter, really.
Not to winter, no.
No. All right.
It is like Western, like Southern Europe. It's very temperate climate, and you are like in the the Southern Hemisphere, so like around this area.
We don't yet have to worry about making ice monsters into like warm clothing yet.
No.
You won't have to worry about that. So that's good. Erlen's just gonna let people know, whoever's awake on the earlier sense of the morning, that I've got a contact I gotta talk to, trying to get a couple more clues about our missing researcher. My missing researcher.
Do you want us to go with you, or?
Big man.
I think Big Man's away from the mic.
Well, yeah.
I just heard him go.
I did no. I just went.
There's a rumor going about that some counselors apparently owe favors to nameless individuals. It's all very vague, and getting more specifics has a bigger price tag attached to it. But they're saying the bodies are flowing more and more, especially with the war going on. There might be a way to get you some more clues on your people. I was asking about my people, but it's all the same trade. I could try to get some more intel on that. Or if you want, you could try to ask yourself, but it's kind of you kind of have to build a bit of trust there.
Got it.
Okay. So Erland and Shepard are heading over to the stall that you saw your previous contact at.
Yeah.
Okay. It's early in the morning. You walk over to the jewelry stall. The same dwarf that you saw before is there, as well as a new face, kind of like pale skin, graying eyes, kind of like a slowly balding man with a very like patchy beard, but like decked out in like actually nice jewelry on his fingers, ears. It's not like showy, but it's like it's not like garish or anything, but it is showing a status as a merchant.
And this new guy looks more like legit as a merchant.
More
is that what I get?
More legit in that he
More wealthy?
knows, he wealthy and like knows a lot more about what's going on.
Okay.
And only kind of like the guy that you spoke to is like the door essentially, and the one he has with him is like the actual like information desk.
Nice.
Oh, you that Varen man you have been hearing about.
Ah, yes, right. I was told to come here, have a bit of a meeting with you.
Yeah, of course. Why don't we step into the alleyway? Don't want any prying eyes. Oh, my mic keeps cutting out. The fuck? Hold on.
You mind if my retainer joins us? He's a trusted ear.
Ooh, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. I'm amazing at these. Click.
I'll stand away.
You'll stand away.
I'm gonna try to keep an ear out for my own stuff anyway.
He just kind of looks a little uneasy and just goes, "This ain't my first time doing business."
Of course. Well, your rules.
He kind of like ushers you into an alleyway next to the stall. It's early morning, not a lot of people are out, and this alleyway specifically, dark and cramped, kind of like a blind spot for some of the guards. Crosses his hands over his chest. Haven't seen a castless around doing business.
Ah, the mark. Yeah, it's... Well, price of doing business up top.
Don't I know it? Though, I'm always careful not to get caught with it. Rough
Some
job?
people find it... Well, a little bit. A bit of traveling here and there, trying to get the right wares out. But it's only ever really much of a problem going back.
Well, with the right paperwork and the right people, you can get anywhere you want. Now,
Indeed.
heard you asking about bodies. You looking for work or you looking for trade?
I have a few helpers already, and should business go well, I'd like to have a good idea of what'll be available. And besides, I'd like to know about my folk. And even... He has to think for a second. I have to think for a second too. Because at the moment, Shepard just looks like a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just looks like a normal big guy with the gray skin still. Like, is that like how well have we really like covered that up?
I think your previous.
His horns are hidden, you know, like.
You didn't exactly hide his horns, I believe.
No, it's like in his
you
hair.
wrapped hair around him. Give me an insight check.
Yeah. So I'm like, is it just known that this guy like stands out as a bit of a weirdo, but not like obvious that he's some other type of race? Like how people are saying he might be some kind of like research experiment or something. Like, is that kind of what we're playing off of here? And also part of this is also like something that like, you know, it's like, how obviously should I be talking about like what Shepard is or what his people are? Should I just kind of like in my mind, I imagine, and also Erlen kind of like dodge around that kind of question and see if it leads there?
Okay. One, it's not obvious in terms of like, oh, he's a Kunari or like a different race, but it is unsettling. One, his height, to the fact that like he has this weird hairstyle and that he's wearing like very specific armor. And you've heard people say he looks like another one of the guards. So they're not exactly like, you know, raising alarm over it, but it is like, he is drawing attention. But in a very like, well, whatever. The best I can say is like, you know, whenever like our fucking government talks about like, hey guys, we found aliens, and the group is like, everybody's just like, yeah, but I still gotta pay rent tomorrow. That's the kind of like consensus here. It's like there's a weird guy.
People don't care that much to involve
It's
themselves
kind
with
of
it.
scary, but also there's a war going on, and I gotta like get my fucking taxes paid.
Yeah. So I think Erland will try to more or less speak in the matter of so they're first asking me about like bodies, about like the trade and all that.
So speaking about Shepard, you can be candid in that he's weird and like unnatural looking. Bringing up the Kunari thing probably won't really net anything, but you could try. You're not really sure what the consensus is on like new races around here.
And they're at least they're asking me about like the slave trade and all that kind of stuff.
They're
more
asking
what I'm
you. They're
for.
asking you if you're looking to do business in the slave trade, or if you're looking to, like, if you're a potential buyer, or if you're a potential like you're looking for work, like you want to move bodies.
Move bodies. I think I want to take this from the angle of a potential buyer and simply like elaborate to them that interested in the movement of dwarves throughout this area, right? If there are, like through the embassy and things like that, right? And any other like helpers of interest, right? Like any particular like kinds of people that seem to stand out, you know, more than the regular riffraff. Because he'd be like, you know, he's like, I'm willing to invest in people that are worth investing in. So if there's any note of people that are particularly hardy or reliable, like my own retainer.
You noticed him too, huh? And he just kind of points you, like points your like points in a direction. And Shepard, your eye catches this person too. Taller than you.
Taller than Shep.
Taller than Shepard stands someone with gray skin, completely armored from like the chest area and like this kind of like sleeveless armor almost. Pitch black with a kind of like large mask helmet set covering their face with just like small holes kind of like giving them vision, and kind of like long white hair down their back. No horns. They hold a long glaive and just seem to be acting on behalf of the guards as well. No one pays them any attention, though people are avoiding them, like normal passerbys who just kind of like going out of their way to not cross paths with this person. They are standing very still, and they don't seem bothered by the attention, and the guards regard them as just
another guard.
another personnel almost. Not another guard. They're not talking to them, but there doesn't seem to be any alarm. And Shepard, you notice this as well. And they seem to be almost looking in your direction, Shepard. And that's the only one we've got around here, at least. Don't really know about any of the rest of them. Weird folk, silent, but good for protection. Had some robbers the other day. Staked 3 of them with one glaive.
One glaive.
Yeah, massive. In terms of our folk, closest dwarven embassy should be in Naraminian. Do trade. There's plenty of dwarven merchants, well respected. There's also, pretty large city. Used to be the capital before Minrathos. So, if you're looking for anything less above board, they're willing to, make room for that. Though, of course, slavery here is just business as usual. Unless you're hiding anything illicit.
Erlen, Josh thinks for a second. Minrathos used to be the capital?
No. Naraminian used to be the capital.
Naraminian.
And Minrathos is the current one. So what he's saying is essentially Naraminian is huge.
It's huge. And that's where you'd find a lot of things going on.
That is kind of for at least the eastern coast of Tevinter, that is the hub. That is Dwarven Embassy, that is a lot of the underground trade, but it is also where a lot of the bodies are transported, either from the Dwarven Embassy or from other carriages, but it is
The embassy itself trades in the bodies.
Yeah.
Of dwarves or more than dwarves? Just a bunch of people in general?
Dwarves, humans, elves.
Ah. Very good to know. He says that. Very good to know. All right.
I'd say, and he kind of goes, well, the dwarves only with your mark, of course. Can't have nobody from a noble or a priest or any of them.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Good castes be traded into some pretty fine punishment for those that dare to do such a thing.
I also placed a question with your associate on the realm of magic. And
This is the place for it, yeah.
absolutely. I'd like to know if there is anything to know, and if there's a price associated. Any genius that has not yet come to light.
Any genius that has not yet come to light.
New research, new experimentation, breakthroughs in magic.
Oh,
It's
you're
a
looking for just the one?
topic of interest. It's a topic of great interest.
For a dwarf? You sure are
Yes.
strange.
Well, think about it. It's the one thing that's been robbed of us, no?
Yeah,
We don't have the same connection any other being here has, and what I'll do, my own little miracles and alchemy, it's pales in comparison.
I'm good on the demon possession and the nightmares. But if you want to experience that, any city, anywhere, you can find mages around here.
I want to try to get a read on them if they're like, as of yet, hiding something from me. Well, obviously, like hiding something, but like hiding something specific. Like they're not saying, like they're specifically not saying anything because I've not yet bought into their trust.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. That number. Wow, that is horrific. I don't have a thing against that. That is, yeah, that's it.
1. He is he is asking for more money if you want something more specific.
Okay. And now my wording's got to be specific here. Help me out, folks. So, what we would want to ask for is specifically, and where I'm kind of getting at, right, is any people that would be doing, you know, like that, any like researchers or scientists that are doing work that wouldn't be like, I don't know, like out in the spotlight, or like it's all so freaking vague with these sorts of things. It's like, who would be doing work that would be frowned upon? There we go. Who would be doing work that would specifically be like, that would be frowned upon even in these parts, right? Because that's as far as my understanding. You know, that's like the kind of work that was done to Erlen and people around him isn't exactly something to be proud of, or something that people would flaunt even around here. It's like,
I think you as a dwarf know not to bullshit with this guy.
yeah, and like he's a dwarf. He can kind of like speak more plain about things, right? So that's the kind of plain wording I'm trying to get at here. I think the way to ask this is to say, who's there any names or people you can point me towards that are doing any work that would normally be frowned upon?
And how much money do you give him?
I am going to bring up 300 from my personal stash.
Ooh.
I'm doubling my previous bid.
You see a fucking very familiar twinkle in this dwarf's eye.
He kind of goes, well, I wouldn't know of any specific names, but there are, of course, very strict laws with disgraced mages. Blood magic is very frowned upon here, as you know. You could speak to perhaps one of the counselors of magical malpractice, as they would call it. Over in any one of the major cities, Neraminian's probably your best bet. They've got like a fairly they've got a history of dealing with those things.
One of the counselors of medical malpractice.
Perhaps speak to Synesius Celis. He's one of the counselors, a bit more lenient with who he associates with. And I will write that down, yes.
Beautiful.
Though, you say you're a merchant?
Indeed.
Good luck getting an audience.
They only speak to the upper crusts.
They speak to people that have use. Like I said, he's a bit more willing to parlay with the those in the pig pen, but you gotta show him that you have worth.
Does Erlen get the vibe that he's spent what he could from this guy, or if he may have the freedom to like ask an extra question or two?
For 300 gold, you can ask another question.
Okay. So I'm wondering. Hmm. This is a lot of power. This is a lot of power to just give. I don't. I had my things. All right.
If you're done, then you're done.
If I'm done, I'm done. But also, should I be? Am I? Is there anything? Like Mark, you're smart about things.
You
Am I
turn away,
forgetting
you're like, excuse
something?
me, I have a call, and you go in your earring.
Hassan, I mean Ayas. Sorry. Okay. I mean, personally, Hassan wants to know what the slave trade is doing, but
We
You gotta be a bit more specific about that. What the slave trade is doing? Dealing slaves?
Yeah, it's clearly they're
like,
doing well.
We're the next rich person. No, we're the next like rich person slave auction is.
We'll probably find a
Hassan
lot of
wants
luck
to
with that in
fucking
Neraminian.
Destroy the slave trade.
Like, toss a stone and you'll hit one.
Yeah, like
No, but
we
you just said we're not in a rich enough town to have a lot of that, so.
Neraminian used to be the capital, has a lot more of that. We can find anything we
Cool.
want there. Big town. That's the New York of slave trade.
Oh my god.
This session is a gold mine,
God
you
damn
guys.
it, okay. We're so canceled.
God, fuck
canceled.
our sponsorship.
Several dozens of episodes ago.
Yeah, we got canceled several.
It does not matter. All right. So outside of the obvious, there's a lot more slave trade to find in Neraminian, and more people such as the one armored fellow that we might be able to run into there, right?
The one armored fella standing, like...
He's over there. He's
Yep.
literally like...
He's staring at Shepard.
Yeah. He's gonna ping Shepard for a second, like... You might want to talk to the other guy. He seems like he might be one of you.
Yeah, I was waiting for my turn.
Yeah, Tony's being nice and polite and waiting for you to finish talking.
Erlen will like nod over to Shepard over in the corner. You're dismissed.
Josh, are you done here then?
Yeah. If Erlen's like gonna after like pinging Ayas is like, is there anything else I should try to squeeze out of this guy?
Indra goes over the earring.
Slave trade, disgrace,
Travel times.
Ages.
What roads to take?
Roads to take. All right, I'll take it. All right, Neraminian, good hotspot, especially for a lot of the business above and below board that I'm planning on getting into. So, how best should we reach there then?
I mean, most caravans take the main road. Just kind of goes up north, and then you can take a left to Neraminian. A lot of inspections on the way, though, so have the paperwork to deal with that. You should be okay, though it's very crowded, and you might see some things. There's another less traveled by road for people that would rather not deal with that. Goes through the forest, kind of to the west of here. It's a little dangerous. People go missing sometimes. Caravans get attacked by people or by other things. But less prying eyes.
How soon might we expect to get there then? If we take the main road or if we take the side path?
Both paths, maybe 2 days, 2.5, depending on, how big your caravan is, how many horses you got. Ain't that bad of a travel time, but as I said, different roads, different issues.
All right. I think that'll do it for now. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate your gold.
He'll step away, right? And then give Shep the heads up, like a little ping. If you need me for anything, I'll be in the area. He'll go about traveling just around like the merchant stalls. He might be interested in a little bit of shopping, but we'll get to that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this entire time, Shepard like heard you but didn't hear you.
You have a really good passive perception.
Because but you gotta keep in mind that like this person is of great interest to Shepard. It is not very often for Shepard to see someone walking in a street, have the same skin complexion as him, and be taller than him.
How long have you guys been traveling together? Just a group question. Was it like 3 months-ish now?
It's been, yeah. By this point, I mean, we spent a couple months being pirates, right? And then we traveled around longer.
Annika, you've been keeping track of the date. How long has it been?
I have it.
It's been at least a couple months, but I think less than half a year.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go more specifically.
So somewhere between the 3 to 5 month range.
Sound about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 to 4.
All right, 4 months. Yeah, Shepard has not seen a person from his homeland in 4 months.
At least.
Yeah.
You're getting stared down, bro.
You approach. And they don't seem to usher you into like a more private corner. They seem fine having a conversation out and about with you. And as you approach, they just kind of like their grip remains like strong on the glaive, but they just kind of like pack their shoulders back a little bit and lift the helmet kind of like cover a little bit so you can see their mouth.
And Shepard immediately switches to Nori speak. Are you Kunari?
I am. Shenadun, stranger. What brings you to Marotheus?
I'm looking for more of us.
He could have like tilted his head a little bit. You have business? What's your rank?
Shepard is now suddenly realizing that like he thinks that Shepard is a guard or something.
I think he can tell that you're not a human.
Yeah.
But he is asking like, what is your role in the Kunari Society, essentially?
Okay. I was it Shepard.
Shepard. I am Hisrad. And you would know, Shepard. That name literally means liar. This is a Kunari spy.
Interesting.
We draw attention to ourselves when there's more than one of us in a small city like this. Are you to meet up with the others?
I want to.
Are you the reinforcements they asked for? You do not seem like an army to me.
I am just one.
Perhaps they know more than I do. They are awaiting help in Araminian. I've been sending letters back and forth. If you're heading that way, he takes out a small parcel and hands it to you. Do deliver it. The Barasad are there.
Parcel will be delivered.
How long have you been here?
On this continent or in this city?
Continent-wise. How long have you been away from the homeland?
Around 4 months or so.
Yeah, the scouting party got caught up longer than they intended.
Heard that they might have been captured or they were being escorted somewhere.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, classically great at these. Oh!
Have you not been informed?
No.
Captured insofar as they can't exactly leave this place, but I've been in contact with them.
So it was on purpose.
I believe a few of them might be missing, though the larger group does not want to concern themselves with prisoners of war. If they can be rescued, great. If not, well, they will give their lives for the Kun. For the Kyun, sorry.
Understand the sacrifice. However, I do intend to rescue them.
I don't expect anything less from a shepherd. Anyway. Should be an abandoned ship graveyard, they said. They're, hiding out in.
Any idea where?
Naraminian. I think that's the place they were brought to. Though, of course, all according to plan, that mage is dealt with. They've sent a lot of information over to the Arishok. Though, it seems that they can't get a boat out without it being shut down by the Magisters. Do take care of that.
I will do my best.
You will do it.
Yes. Oh.
Is that all?
Are you the only one serving in this detail right now?
Yeah, I was sent out. My scouting operation is going to take longer. The war effort, that might be a good thing to take advantage of, don't you think?
Definitely.
Don't worry about me. The people here regard me as just another enforcer. Like some of those golems are in an Araminian. Freaky things.
I think people were comparing me to those earlier as well.
Well, that's what you get when you mix doors with magic.
Thank you for the information.
Panahedon, shepherd. And that literally translates to take refuge in safety.
To you as well.
And then Mass back down and kind of like regains his stance.
Is the place he was talking about on the map anywhere that I can see?
Yes.
Okay, because I
will circle it.
don't. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know how to spell it.
No, you're good. Naraminian. That is the same city that the dwarf was telling Erland about.
And just to double check something that I heard it correctly, just it was like an offhanded comment. Did Hizrat say that the golems or what happened when you mix dwarfs with magic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. Good talk.
Good talk. GG's.
Shepard is going, yep. Tony is shitting himself.
Yeah. Hey, where did Erland go?
Erland, buddy, pigman.
Yep.
Would I be able
I
to
for one,
find
I'm going
him?
through. I mean, I'm like going through like the markets and things like that. Two things I'm interested in getting specifically. There's a potion recipe that I don't yet have that I'd like to try to like find someone who can give me some knowledge, right? Or even like the potion itself. Actually, it'd be interesting. It's a potion of shapeshifting. It is a type of potion that allows you to cast Alter Self on yourself for 30 minutes without concentration. Or you drink it, you're using the Alter Self spell. So it's not really like spell casting. It's just kind of like you drink a potion and like look different for like 30 minutes. It's a cool potion. But yeah, the recipe would be nice, but so would actually having it. So because it would save us some time. But I mean, like if we have the kind of downtime to like actually make potions and stuff, that'd be fucking awesome.
Okay. What's the rarity of the
uncommon?
Uncommon. Okay.
Yeah. So normally it's a DC 12 24-hour long process that costs you 100 gold to make the thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you can find the recipe and you can buy it. If you want the actual potion, give me a deception check.
Okay. We do a little haggling maybe.
7.
Nothing but bangers.
Dude, unlucky.
This is charisma, Erland. This is how it works. I knew what I built.
Yeah, you have the if you like want to spend the 100 gold for the recipe, you have it, but no actual potions.
All right. I'm willing to drop 100 for the recipe and quote unquote like material stuff like that. So if and when I actually go about making these 100 gold each time. So that whole process. So Just the recipe is 100. You want to say?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll do that.
And I'd say if you want to give me like a what's the word, like you did it before, like a check to see if you like on the way here gathered like any interesting plants or anything for like a recipe that you would have wanted, nature survival check.
Nature survival. Okay. We can do a bit of survival. Click. Let's go.
You're good on a couple of the ingredients. You're still missing one.
Okay.
Very specific leaf, native only to Taventer, so like easy enough to pick once you get to like a forested area. But right now you're just kind of missing it.
Okay. And that would help me make the thing itself.
Yes.
Okay. Have that down. Other than that, I'm also interested in, spending a couple copper or silver. I'd like a nice flask that I can keep on my person.
You got it.
Like to find one.
Yeah.
Right.
Merchant selling it. Like if you want to spend the 5 silver, but like it's a flask.
Oh. On that same thing, you guys mentioned this a while back. All right. With the person that is a merchant of this sort of caliber, I'd like to do the thing, spend the money, and not have to worry so much about like having to micromanage all my vials and things. So an amount of gold that makes sense, so that we can do the whole arrow thing, where you don't have to track every individual thing. You said that a while ago. Like I could spend an amount of gold, or however much it ends up being, to just kind of have a lot of vials.
Oh yeah.
Like containers for potions and all that.
Sure. Yeah, there's like an alchemist around here. I'd say if you want to just like,
or even just like a glass blower, just somebody who does this shit.
And Ricky, you can like correct me. If you put 50 gold down for a bunch of fucking vials, you will never have to buy one ever again.
Beautiful.
Rules as written, they are 1 gold piece apiece. So if you spend the 50 gold, don't worry about tracking them.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. And I'm just
even,
gonna hope
even if you
these
make
are
more than 50, like I don't care.
We're good. All right, awesome. Because I'm already have to spend all this on like the actual like potions themselves.
You're making the effort to put down enough money, so that way we don't have to track.
Yeah, we don't have to do all the
little
tracking.
thing.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. I'll drop 50 gold. We'll have an amount of vials that we don't have to worry about again, and I'll grab a nice looking little flask to keep on my person. And that'll be me doing a bit of shopping around.
Okay.
How long would it take Shepard to find Erland?
Considering I was still just in the market.
Yeah, like, is there a real hustle and bustle around the streets? Like, is it hard to
You
find
find
him?
him pretty easily. I think he finds you pretty easily.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that'd be the easier way to do it.
Yeah, I feel like Erland just like spots the big tall guy walking in. It's like, hey,
Erland. Let's go back to the place we're staying.
Sure.
I've
Here's
something that you might be of interest to you. Actually.
All right. Kind of pinged the others on our way back.
So, Shepard's trying to be very like, probably won't talk about it until we're back, like at the room.
I can tell he looks a little uncomfortable. A little on edge.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Is it okay if we skip to the room?
We'll get back. We'll see who's there to meet us.
Yeah.
Has anyone stepped out for business?
I know what you meant, but I'm just imagining Shepard and Erland skipping to the room.
I don't even want to say hand in hand.
Well, Erland, have you ever heard of a golem before?
DMs.
Yes.
I know I have heard them been mentioned by my like my hammer, you know. But have I heard them mention, and like to some extent it might have also been brought up a little bit in the in like the dwarf lore of, like our gods being, fucked over or imprisoned, bled out for their lyrium by, elven gods and all that fun stuff, right? I want to know if there's anything else that Erland might have picked up when it comes to what golems are.
History check with advantage, please.
Beautiful. We stay historical.
$14.
The bangers.
Yeah, you would know that golems are kind of like an essential part of like the dwarven military. There's like a lot in the deep roads. They're very, very useful for one, dealing with darkspawn or like any other threats. Two, obedient soldiers. They have like control rods that dwarves can use. Plenty of dwarves, specifically in like the enchantment or smithing casts, kind of like spend their lives building golems. Other than that, you haven't really come into contact with them. There wasn't a lot of like enchantment in your line of work up until Tevinter. But you haven't really seen like humans use them.
Yeah. I'll kind of like relay a good bit of that where it's like, they're kind of a bit beyond my means, or even the means of the kind of people I would shake down for money.
Yeah.
But they were
from my
helpful.
My brethren, I was able to find out that there are golems in Neominion.
Our golems.
Yes, they described it as what happens when dwarves have magic.
How? He didn't elaborate on that. Enchanters can make golems. Smiths can build golems. What are they talking about?
I don't know much more than that.
Okay.
But we both have things we want to see there.
Yeah. And there's where we would find someone who can put us on the right trail to finding the doctor. Problem is, we need to be worth his time. He says in the room with all the others. Yeah. So we'll have to come up with a better story than what we currently have. A good reason for him to pay us mind.
Question.
Answer.
would I mean Annika knows what they meant by like worth their time. Did Erland impart that upon the rest of the group?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
this is a council member. They don't often talk to the riffraff, but the name I was given is someone who at least tries to. Even still, we need to get their attention to really earn an audience.
So we'd have to do some great deed for Tevinter. Great.
Or just have something they're interested in. They're counselor of magical malpractice. So
Another Annika question.
Mm-hmm.
We still have
Something
that
about
giant eyeball creepy thing in a lead box
Mm.
in the bag of holding.
Mhm.
In the
Isn't that in the ocean?
did we drop that in the ocean? I feel like we did, but then we're like,
I don't
no, it's gonna wash
you guys
up.
destroyed the finger, so I don't even know where
No, you
everything else
destroyed the
went.
finger.
We destroyed the finger. I'm
But
talking about the thing that possessed the child.
The thing inside the mirror, inside the lead
The
box.
beholder thing.
The
I think we
beholder.
still have it.
I think no, yeah. You guys couldn't decide what to do with it, so it's just sitting
So
there.
we still have it, yeah.
We just have a Pokeball.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh god, wait, no.
Oh,
You know
no.
what that fucking reminds me of?
Imagine the Vox
I'm
It's
Machina.
still
another
here.
version of this bitch.
No. Briar went to go look at them.
Yeah, you still have a fucking
You trust
creature with
Briar
wings.
with a demon?
Wait. We didn't give it to Brian.
No.
Briar's gonna
No, but she knows about
They.
it, or they.
Oh, yeah.
They. Sorry. They know about it, and literally when Asan told them about it, they sprinted off towards it. So at this point, out of our hands, it's their problem now.
Oh wait, the beholder is theirs now.
No.
No, the little
no,
demon
I'm
locked in
missing-
the box. The
Anyway,
mean lock.
move on. You guys have the
Oh,
beholder
yeah.
in a
Ace
lead box
taxes.
inside your bag of holding.
Ugh.
Are you gonna bring that up?
I don't think she brings it up. She's gonna stare really intently and start sweating at the bag.
Alaria starts
Why?
vibrating like her weapon of warding.
What do you want from
Stabitha's
it?
like, no.
What, you want something?
We could give something. Honestly, don't want to give it to anybody. Don't want it around anymore.
What?
You know that beholder from a few months ago?
No,
That we locked it up.
no. I don't want it.
Wait, y'all left it in this bag?
Where else would we put it?
As Erlen fishes it out.
Wait, it's been touching my stuff?
He's just like, he reaches into the bag of holding, thinks about, a lead box. Pulls out a lead box.
God damn it.
Oh god, fucking damn it.
I mean, yeah, it's probably the safest place to put it in a
Lead
Just don't
box
like
and a bag
it.
of holding.
yeah, out in its own little space of nowhere. But I don't like the aura this thing gives off.
Can you imagine if someone ventured it up thinking that it was inside of it,
Oh.
and then accidentally releases the beholder? That would be pretty funny.
You
What
hear
would
a
we
light.
hope out of this? We hear what?
Nothing. I was gonna make a fucking joke.
What would we want out of this? What we would try to get their audience by saying we have something of importance for them to check out? Like,
I do
Well, maybe
think
we.
it's
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like how would we prove it's you and I, all of us know it's a beholder.
Well, I don't think we tell them up front. I
What's
think
in
we
it?
go, hey, like black market style, like we've got a strange creature. You talk to us, give us information, and it's yours. We don't have to have an audience with them. If this guy is, talking to people like us, then he's probably not a saint himself.
yeah. I mean, I heard them through their own underground network. So, alright. Do a bit of a trade. We give them this creature, we get it off our hands, and they give us a trail to follow. Have to Just need to have our story straight.
Well, we got the papers. We should be okay.
Do. Yeah. They'll believe that we're merchants. I just need them to believe that they don't. Just need them to believe that we can be trusted with this kind of knowledge, and that us asking ain't gonna tip off the wrong people. And get them to hide even further. And in any case, all this is leading us towards Naraminian. Old capital, big city, a lot more room than where we're at now.
A lot more hiding spots, too.
Yeah. A better chance to get connected with their underground, to find anything we're looking for. Not just her. And folks like him. He looks to Shepard.
Yeah, so I saw another Kunari.
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them's like a guard now.
Brandy is buffering.
Just casually. Yeah.
Are-
Blue screen.
are-
Brandy's
are-
blue screen.
Are they okay? Are your people okay? Or
I know where the prisoners are now.
okay?
They are also in the same city that Erland needs to go to, funny enough.
Yeah, the body trade is kind of booming over there.
Okay, that's good.
At least we're closer to what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 2, maybe 3 days journey trying to get from there to here. Well, here to there. Thing is, the normal channels, well, they can be pretty crowded. A lot of scrutiny. We probably get past, at least with the documentation we worked so hard to get today. And it is a safe road. Most part. Because our other option would be going through the forest, where people go missing and caravans get attacked.
You know what? We've
But
gone
less
through
eyes
so
on
many
us.
forests. Let's just stick to our safe route and just keep acting. Why risk it?
Plus, it seems like having servants is a thing of status here, so... Looks like at least 1 or 2 of you need to pretend to be rich.
Pretend.
Yeah, Serdwin side eyes Alaria.
Looks at Ilaria.
One,
Everybody
one
looks
of
at
us
Alaria.
here already knows what it's like, so that's one.
Well, a lot less rich after today.
Oh.
But if you need 2 people to look rich, who's the next one?
Brandy.
I mean, it's either Erland or Brandy, right?
Brandy.
Well,
You know, I feel like Erland could drive a hard bargain, which would definitely help with his richness case.
Ilaria, what's with the
Erland is a man who-
hesitation?
He pulled up his bootstraps and is now a bourgeois.
No,
Brandy puts both of her hands up and just like, I'm going to just level with all of you. Just a moment of, self-awareness. Money was never a big thing until I met you guys.
Yeah, same.
I
I've
just
never.
because you were human.
No, you saw what it was like in Ravane.
I mean, the 2 humans could be rich.
I think
I
Ilaria and
can
Erland
quit.
can.
Yeah, I feel like Ilaria's the charm, Erland's the business.
Oh. Because the group, okay, this is Annika. The group doesn't necessarily understand the mark. They know it means something, but not the.
I
Cast.
think
Also, isn't like every topsider technically castless?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't matter
would
that
they be
much, does it?
marked? Yeah.
People up here, I mean, they can also like cover it up and stuff. That's typically what they
Someone
do.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Erlen did explain this back on the boat.
Yeah. Like you guys more or less know like what the mark means in the sense that it means that you're garbage. But in Erlen's case here as a merchant, it's part of he has he has the cover story that he does business topside and bottom. It's just that other dwarves up here would probably cover up the mark.
Mm.
You could also cover up the mark, so.
I don't
Did we
know.
do that?
Erlen's a
I don't.
pretty hard
I didn't.
shade match.
Yeah.
Ilaria's
Saying
like,
you
I don't have
could.
anything light enough.
He's
Right. Oh, and you guys get a new cart? Or are you just heading out like this?
card. Card.
I've got one thing to do before we leave.
Yes.
That would be.
So we've done a lot of like information gathering on the down low, on like the hidden secrets. I just want to go to like, I don't remember the exact timeline of technology here, but either like a town crier or some sort of newspaper. I want the generic knowledge that like everyone who's like
what's
normal
going
should
down.
know, so we can fit in at least.
Fair and smart.
Huh.
So yeah, either like a town crier or like a newspaper, depending on like technology levels. Just be
Alec,
like, what's the generic knowledge that everyone who's like lived here would know?
Are you
Pers-
asking... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, perception or investigation?
I mean, I'm not gonna ask for a roll. I'm gonna ask, like, are you looking for anything specific, or do you just want, like, a blanket statement, like, the group knows the goings-on in this place?
I mean, if you think that there's anything
How's the war
I
going?
can notice in the
Yeah.
goings on,
Because clearly there's a lot of military occupation happening here.
look, Assan's going to do this whether or not there's special information.
Okay, I'll
But like,
say...
if
I'll...
anything in the generic news piques his interest, like
Okay.
I'd love to hear about it.
A few people asked about the war going. There is obviously like conflict on the eastern side on the border with Orlais and Tevinter. It seems like there's talks of negotiation, but it's also mostly because Tevinter is losing ground, while Orlais is the one kind of like leading the charge of exalted marches against it. And the kind of like smaller hamlets and towns near the border have been completely evacuated, and there is a lot of like skirmishes and battles going on in the kind of like southeastern side. General news, politically speaking, they're in a time of like controlled power. There is one Archon that's been around for like a couple of like 20 years or so, and they're well respected. Nothing like the layperson would know, politically speaking. But I will ask for one investigation check if you want to know any like rumors that people know about but are like, you know,
On the down low.
Too
Yeah.
busy to care.
like
Yeah, no,
more of like rumors that like if you're in the know you hear about them, but if you just arrived it's not like 23. There's been some strange murders happening, not in this area but in some of the cities up north. They're very gruesome. But you don't get any information besides that.
Alright. Cool.
Yes, murder.
When I get back, I will relay all of that to the group. You know, like, Tevinter might be losing the war a little bit. There's talks of peace, blah, blah, blah. And there's also apparently some murders going on up in the cities up north that are very gruesome and horrifying.
Yeah.
No no clue of who's being targeted in these murders?
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, these are just more of the rumor mill. I don't think we're going to get real quality information from it.
We should
That's
head
something we
that
can do when we
direction
go to the
eventually.
cities. Yeah. That's
I,
something we should
I
keep
for
in
one
mind
say
when we
we
go.
go towards the murder.
Well, they said the cities, right? So Narrominion is not. No, it's a city.
Yes.
It's a bigger city.
That's a huge city.
Yeah.
The
It used to be the
cities, as in
capital.
like, there's been like things happening in all of them. So like, Narrominion is
Yeah.
included, but it's not the
Big
only one.
things. Not the only one. Places are seeing some chaos. All right, that might be a lead to track down. The kind of people that are dying in these murders, and if there's anything connecting it. Throughout the cities. Imagine there's a good bit of unrest, especially with the war going on.
And you guys said you were getting a cart.
Yahoo.
Alaria, while the group is out shopping, you've passed by very high profile events like auctions, not slave auctions, but like the auctions of exotic things, animals, wares, sometimes even property. Um, you pass by what seems to be 3 people, each one of them tied to a pillar with their hands behind their back. And on each of the posts that they are tied to, it says Orlesian Pig. And there are people gathering around this essentially stockade-like area. You have merchants selling paints that you can throw at them and rotten vegetables if you wish. And you see people like come to and fro and insult them or just throw shit at them. But there is one prevailing rule that you can see just almost immediately. You can't harm them. You get in trouble if they're hurt, if you hurt the people that they want to shame. You
So
saw,
are they? Oh, go ahead.
while the group is talking, you would see one person like walk up and punch one of the people, and one of the guards standing by yanks them by the scruff of their neck and basically just yells at them to get the fuck away. While everybody else is just kind of walking up and shaming them in different ways.
I spit at thee.
Basically.
Do they seem like POW? Like
Oh yeah, very much so.
soldiers? Okay.
Yeah, they and you know Orlesian soldiers. At least you've heard about them. They're proud. Much like any good Orlesian should be. They seem dejected.
My brethren. You could take the girl out of Orlais. You can't take the Orlais out of the. How high up are they?
They're ground level.
I'm assuming it's it's a stand. It's like a pillory.
It's a post. It's a normal post. They're not like tied up and like off the ground. It's just their hands are behind their back and they can't necessarily like stand or kneel or sit in a comfortable position.
Is she by Indra?
Sure.
Turning. This is what Andraste would want, right? Just gonna walk over.
You're walking over to
The
POWs?
Yeah,
You
forgot the name for a sec.
you walk up to, there's 3 of them, so you walk up to one of them. They don't even look up at you.
She's gonna open her water flask.
Do you want me to beg?
Very softly, breaking her accent. Make her bless you. Offers it up.
You see his eyes widen, and in a very soft voice, just very faintly say, don't. You will get caught. This is not the place to be caught.
Back in her Tevinter accent. Take the charity, pig, before I change my mind.
He make a performance check for me, please.
16.
Did you fucking toss the dice onto the
It
desk? What the
sounded like
fuck
you
was
were.
that?
It was leather. It's okay. My leather tray is on my desk. It went extra hard.
Well, it sounded like you fucking spiked it into your desk for a minute.
What'd you
Okay,
get?
what was it again?
16.
16. Guards aren't particularly paying too much attention. They're just making sure that people don't try to kill these fuckers. But, you put on a good enough performance to where, like, oh, this is another type of shame. Okay, cool. He lets you, essentially, like, feed him the water skin. He can't really do anything himself at this moment.
Revolution.
Is there anything you want to know before you leave?
Very low. Where were you stationed?
I was sent right to the front line. No station.
Gonna walk away. Kind of.
Before you do.
Mm.
May the Horned One guide you.
She just nods. Internally.
Indra's just gonna say, you know you can't do that for all of them, right?
At least one.
If it makes you feel better.
I mean, we're the reason they're here.
We are.
I am.
The reason they're here is because your divine started a war she can't finish. You're just a person.
But we've made money. We've made more money than I've seen growing up because of... I thought I could wash my hands from this, but I guess not.
I don't think you ever can. do you all reconvene and begin to make your way down to Naraminian?
We need to like buy a cart.
I thought we did.
Was that already included, or was that just the paperwork that we have one?
I believe that would just be the paperwork, Alec.
I thought that was just paperwork. Yeah.
That was just paperwork. How much did you guys spend on the cart?
250.
No. How much did you guys spend on the cart that you bought before you left it behind at the Elven Clan?
Wasn't that just out of Indra's pocket?
Question. Because I
Wasn't
don't
that just something he did?
I think so.
Yeah, because didn't Indra pull that from like his personal funds, and I was like,
I
that
thought
was
we
Indra
spent
some shit.
close. I don't think it was that. I thought we spent close to like 100 because we just got something
Nice.
sturdy and not falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a carriage,
Yeah.
which was a which is baseline 100 gold.
Yeah. If you guys want to get just like a cart that holds things and has wheels, I'd say like 10 gold.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's like, if you guys are going to be spending all of your time in one city, there's not much of a reason to, like, keep
That's
spending money
also
on.
we're supposed to be rich.
That's fair.
Because they
So
own
if you
servants. So-
want to fork over 100 gold to spend on a nice carriage, then go ahead.
Nice carriage. Some nice.
Hassan will fork over 50 if someone else wants to do the other 50.
I'll fork over 50.
Okay.
Math.
Another nice carriage under your belts.
Get it? Yeah.
Hey,
gonna
we're
have so
supposed to
many
be
nice
rich.
carriages.
Don't abandon it in the forest.
This is our
Hey,
vacation.
no.
Our
My
vacation
parents
car.
are looking after it, alright?
Mhm.
That was part of the deal, was they would hitch it to their wagon.
Uh-huh.
Hassan going like, it's at my parents' garage. It's fine.
It's in the summer home. It's at the
Oh,
summer
and
home.
then your mom is gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Your brother,
we sold it.
Aerith, needed the cart, and he
Um,
crashed it.
They totaled it while on a drunken bender. Yeah.
Fucking
Amish
Aerith.
living.
Good. Alright, so you guys get your carriage. You're taking the main road?
I would like to argue to the group that we take a slight detour towards some foresty areas, not deeply into the foresty areas, but enough for me to like try to like gather some materials.
I want to say something, Alec.
Yeah, what's up?
If they go along the main road, they will pass some forest, but
Yeah.
not a whole lot. If they go along the other road, the road that's less trodden, they're gonna pass through a lot more forest.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could try to scavenge on the main road, but it's gonna be a bit more difficult and sparse. Or you can try to take the more dangerous route to get more materials and more opportunities for materials.
Danger never hurt nobody.
Yeah.
We say after a freshly resurrected Sarah Dwen.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Josh was saying, like, just a detour and then go back to the main road.
Yeah. So nothing that would
Yeah,
take us like
slight
too long,
outage.
but maybe like a couple hours off course.
I'd say that's okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Give us
fine.
enough time so I can like try to gather some materials and try to get what I would need for the shapeshifter potion.
Yeah, you get enough for the shapeshifter potion, plus some extra, specifically, native to Tevinter plants, mushrooms, like flora, whatever.
Nice.
Alright. So, after your guys's essentially information gathering attempts to kind of re-equip yourselves with a cart and some RP. I believe this is you guys leaving Barothius.
Yep.
Seems like it.
You set out to Naraminian, and we'll end the session here.